got excited.
You talk about God, I get excited.
I got excited.
You talk about bodybuilding, I get excited.
I got excited.
Talk about recovery from addiction,
I got excited.
I get excited. I get excited, man.
I got excited.
Al Tyrosine, man. What up? What up? It's Garage Gym, homie. And today we're talking about spirituality and bodybuilding. Is it worth it? Before we get into this here, please click the subscribe button. I got content coming out all the dang time for you, man. So click subscribe and let's get into this. God bless all you homies. Hope you're feeling amazing. Living from the heart, man. Staying out of the noisy head. God is good. So, you know, I was just thinking about how bodybuilding and spirituality, to me, in my life, they're not two separate things. They really go hand in hand. And I just wanted to, I don't know, make a quick video about it. There were nothing groundbreaking, earth-shattering here in my head. But what I was going to say is that, first of all, when I first got sober, man, I went to an AA meeting. My second day back, I went to my first AA meeting from being home from LA, and a guy walked up to me, this big freaking black dude, and he just said to me, he goes, "I'm going to sponsor you." Turned out that he is a world champ bodybuilder, and I'm not going to say his name, but maybe, not that you might know it, but he used to tour around the world, and he's won a lot of bodybuilding shows and stuff. He's 75 years old, 76 years old now, 76 years old, still ripped to shreds. And he took me under his wing, man. He didn't even, you know, you're supposed to, a lot of people think in AA you're supposed to ask for a sponsor. He just offered himself to me, man. It just turned out. That's how the cards were dealt to me, man, that my AA sponsor turned out to be a champ bodybuilder. And this was before I got into bodybuilding. And I started working out with my brother and stuff like that. And my sponsor taught me everything I knew. He wasn't just a bodybuilder. He's like the most spiritual guy I personally know. And taught me everything I know, man, about bodybuilding and about how to have a relationship with God. And so I know in my heart to this day that those are not two separate things in my life. You know, bodybuilding, the principles that I practice in bodybuilding and spirituality, they complement each other. You know, they complement each other. You know, practicing a life of restriction is a bodybuilding principle, which is also a spiritual principle. You know, suffering for the greater good, you know, or not indulging in every single thing we see. In bodybuilding, you know, that comes to food and, you know, rest and this and that and all these things. But in the spiritual world, it comes to, you know, everything from food to porn to, you know, media, all that stuff. So they complement each other. You know, bodybuilding, I practice a life of restriction. I spend most of my life not indulging in every pleasure that my head tells me to indulge in. So I can sculpt my physique better, and I can feel better, and I could train better, and I could live better. That's the same with my spiritual life. You know, I don't indulge in everything I see, so I could go to higher spiritual levels. Whether it's gossiping, that's a quick pleasure. You think in the moment it feels good to talk ugly about somebody behind their back, or to talk this way or that way, or to talk some junk. Cursing, you know, I cut out cursing years ago so I could get closer to God, so I could be more conscious. And that's another principle, you know, not just restriction, but consciousness. Being conscious, that's a bodybuilding principle. A lot of you are practicing bodybuilding And you don't even realize you're practicing spirituality. These are spiritual principles. Being conscious, taking the food scale out and weighing every little freaking gram of food that you eat, that you consume, being conscious of what you put in your body, clean eating, learning to read a label. Those are bodybuilding principles. Those are also spiritual principles, man. God gave us this body, and there's nothing in the world wrong with taking interest in building our physique and sculpting it. The best way to be of use to God and the other people around us is to have our own house in order. We're no good to other people unless we're in tip-top condition, physically, mentally, spiritually, all that. So bodybuilding, there's nothing wrong with it. Obviously, there's a real fine line in bodybuilding about selfishness and self-centeredness and all about me, which, to be honest, is a big reason that I've never competed in bodybuilding, because I already got to watch that there's not too much self in my life. So if I were to compete, it feels to me like I'm going all in with self. That doesn't mean I'll never compete. I'm 38 years old already, so I don't know if I will. It should be soon, but I don't have any interest in it. I don't have any desire for that high. My high is right here with you. You know, the high that I get from bodybuilding and stuff, I already achieve it in my gym with the weights. But being with you, this is my stage, you know, my bodybuilding stage, my, you know, just being able to make videos and all that, that does it for me. You know, I don't need to step up on stage and get a fake spray tan and, you know, wear a thong, you know, to achieve the high that I already got. You know, the buzz comes from my heart, man. The fact that I have a decent physique or whatever, and I could get up on the camera and a few people watch, and I could talk about God and, you know, the things in my life that interest me. That's the high that I like. You know, I achieved that. It all comes from God. But yeah, man, like consciousness, weighing out every little gram, you know, being conscious of the cardio sessions, the calories burned, the workouts, of this, that. That's all spiritual, man. Obviously, as I was saying, you don't want to cross the line and, you know, end up being selfish. Because my sponsor told me one day, he goes, hey, man, when you're an addict and you're also a bodybuilder, you got to watch it one day, because you might be walking down the street one day in a tank top. The next day you're walking down the road in a thong. You don't know how you got there. You know, it's like, it happens that quick with us. You know, and then like the spiritual decisions that I made in my life have enhanced my bodybuilding. You know, making the decision not to jerk off. Making the decision not to watch porn. It's been over 4 years now since it's been 4 years. It's probably been over 4 years. It's either 4 years like right now in December or 4 years in January. I got to look. But since it had to be, I think it's over 4 years now, man, since I've jerked off and watched porn. At least it's got to be 4 years or at least 4 years. That helps me. That helps my workouts. That's helped my bodybuilding. That's helped me stay sharp. That's helped me with my drive. That's helped me with my focus on the weight. Forgetting about them, you know, Tinder dates, all that. You know, so my bodybuilding decisions help my spiritual life. My spiritual decisions have helped my bodybuilding life. They all are interchangeable. It all goes together. They're not two exclusive, separate things. You know, bodybuilders, we practice a lot of spirituality, man. Being a strong, driven person, you know, working on the things in our life that are optimal for our hormones and eating clean and doing all that stuff. God wants me eating clean. I feel it in my heart, man. I feel it. You think that's just for your physique or something. That gets me closer to God. I've tried telling you guys, man, every single decision we make in our lives does one of two things. It either gets us closer to God or gets us further from God. And the decisions that I make in my life based on bodybuilding get me closer to God. You know, meal prepping every week, every Saturday. There's something about cooking your own food and being conscious of every little thing you put in your food and everything like that. Something about that gets me closer to God. It feels spiritual, cooking my own food, preparing my own meals for the week and weighing it out to the gram. You know, being conscious, not mindlessly consuming. Mindlessly consuming gets me further from God. You know, so all that stuff in our lives that we do, I've met a lot of bodybuilders, you know, a lot of, the other thing I'll say, man, I've met a lot of people who are sober who have said bodybuilding saved my life. And I really take problem with that, man. I don't like that. You know, that's giving credit to the wrong thing. God saved my life. God gets the credit, man. Without God, there is no freaking bodybuilding. I'm trying to tell you, without God, GGH is not GGH. I'm freaking nothing. There is no YouTube channel, homie. Without God, there is no discipline. There is no motivation. There's a drug addict who leads himself. Without God, I'm nothing. I'm me leading me. With God, it is possible that I can be a bodybuilder who helps addicts and alcoholics, who has a growing YouTube channel, who has a relationship with my family, who is able to meal prep and afford the groceries and the high quality proteins, and I'm financially stable today, and I could, you know, buy the things, you know, that bodybuilding requires, and I can help people be healthier and help people stay sober and give my time to sponsor people. That's not because of me. That's not because I'm special. God gets the credit. So I just wanted to point that out, man. A few things about how spirituality and bodybuilding, you know, I don't give credit to bodybuilding for saving my life. God's always number one and everything else falls after that. God gets the credit. If for some reason I had to stop bodybuilding today, I would be just fine and sober. It would suck. I would have to learn to trust in God and look back and know what the reason that happened was. Maybe I'll find out one day, but I trust in God. You know, so I just wanted to put that out there, man. The principles that we practice as bodybuilders, those are spiritual principles. Taking interest in our physique is not some right-wing, extremist, negative thing. That's not some, narcissistic, naive, despite what society wants you to think. Nothing is wrong with sculpting your body and taking interest in looking the best you can, as long as you're spending your life fulfilling your purpose of whatever your purpose is, whether it's helping other people, being a father or mother, being a light to the world in whatever way that is. There's absolutely nothing wrong with putting your heart and soul into the bodybuilder's lifestyle, man. It has been a great part of my sobriety. It's been an amazing part. It's given me regimen. It's given me a passion in life. It's given me something to be excited about. I get excited about workouts. So anyway, I fall short constantly. I hope you guys bring me up. I'm here to bring you up together. Let's get this dang muscle. I'm just all over the place in this, but I just wanted to put the video out about how bodybuilding and sobriety, for me, they go together. They're not separate entities. That's what I got. God bless all of you. I'm out.